Good evening, Geek Nation. Welcome back for another episode of That Geek Show. So, as always, I am your host. Well, I got big shoes. I got big shoes to fill tonight. I got big shoes to fill tonight since George isn't here. So, I'm stepping in as the host for this evening. So, the Marvelous Knight is having a night off. So, I'm here to give you guys all the fun and festivities that you solely deserve. So joining me is my brother from another mother. What's up, Calvin? What's going on,
What's going on, man? I just can't stop smiling right now. I've been wanting to do this show for so long. So I'll just wait. I'll just keep going. I'll wait my turn.
And joining us is our man, Ralph from No More Mutants. What is going on?
Shalom and mazel tov, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great week, and we are finally here. It is Friday. Thank goodness.
And joining us this evening, we have two of the co-founders of FigPin. We have Armando and we have Erik. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
He's going to get it right, Amado.
Amado. I'm sorry.
Amado.
Welcome, guys.
I always get extra letters. Like anytime someone screws up my name, they're just adding extra letters in there. I'm like, where'd they come from?
That is so awesome.
So how you guys doing?
We're good.
Fantastic. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming, man. This is awesome.
We appreciate you having on. I know for a fun fact that the person in the top middle was so giddy about getting you guys on to talk. So, I mean, I'm super excited to hear the questions that Calvin has lined up for you guys. But before we do that, let's say hi to everyone in the chat. So, joining us right now, we got about 45 people watching right now. So, guys, while you are coming in, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button. If you're new, please be sure to subscribe. As always, be sure to hit that notification bell so you can catch every time we upload any kind of content on MCE. And also, do not forget, we are on the road to 30,000 subscribers, so please be sure to pass that along. We have something awesome lined up for that giveaway. We've got a few things. I know George has already mentioned it, but I don't want to keep everybody waiting. So with that being said, we got the Collectible Warrior in the chat. We got our man Ish. We got Eek Street Smith. We got my man Primetime Reviews. We got Old Nasty. We got Anthony. We got Marco. We got Elijah P. We got my man Drayron. We got Gabriel. We got the greatest name on YouTube alive, King Dingaling. we got my man Jason. We got Alan in the chat. Alan. What's up, Alan? Let's see who else. We got Ronaldo. We got Prison Mike. We got WTF. It's Juan. We got Jeremy Schutz. We got Mr. Smith. Mark Rose. We got Big D. We got Levi. We got OG Fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars. We got Getty Up 21. We got Roy's in the chat. What is up, Roy?
It's late where he's at.
It is late where Roy is at. We got Thor 2941. We got Drew V, Zombie Head, and Ernesto. What is going on, guys? So again, thank you for everybody that's joining us tonight. And again, if you're just joining us now, we have 2 out of the 3 founders joining us this evening from FigPin. We have Erik and we have Amado. Amado. I got it. You got it. So, Calvin, since this is more your realm, I will let you.
My goal is that it becomes everybody's realm by the end of this show, right? Well, that's my goal.
Prove it.
No pressure there. But this is really simple, man, because all I want to hear right now is that you guys tell us a little bit about FigPin, how this whole idea got started, man, because it has taken off.
Yeah, I mean, we love this story, and it's let me see. It's a shame that Dan isn't here because he's really a great guy to start the story. He comes from a background of manufacturing, kind of collectibles, like OEM manufacturing, and from a previous company that I had, I met Dan and we started working together, and I think about 2016, Erik, if I'm not mistaken, around like 2016 timeframe, Dan kind of like fell in love with hard enamel pins. I think he was down at Disney and he picked some up and he just really liked the finish. not so much the soft enamel, but like that polished, flat, hard enamel.
Yeah.
And I think the gears started turning in his head, like, how can you make a product using this manufacturing process to, to just differentiate? At that time, I was doing a lot of design work with Dan on various projects. The company that he was with made that Captain America backpack, the one that was in, yeah. So he actually, he manufactured that and a lot of other products that you might have seen at like GameStop or ThinkGeek. So he was like, hey, Mato, I want to do something with this enamel kind of material. Yes, exactly.
That's good.
There you go, Seth. Look at this. Seth, that's you, Seth.
That's all me. I'm the wrestling. I'm the wrestling guy.
Right,
I'm the wrestling guy. That's all me.
Yeah, that's a fanny pack. Don't
use that word.
See, that's how you could get Seth to wear a fanny pack.
Oh, that's how you definitely get me how to wear a fanny pack. I will rock the crap out of that.
So anyway, so Dan was like, I want to do something with a pin, but I want it to like stand up, because he always talked about how like these pins would just be in a drawer or on a pin board, and he wanted to kind of present them in a different way, kind of like how you guys have your statues in the background there. And so he tasked me with this kind of project, like how can we innovate in this little kind of package here? So we started tinkering around with that and came up with some some interesting ideas. And the one thing that I kept hitting up against was like, if you don't have an art style for it, it's going to just look like a regular pin. It's not going to have a personality, right? No matter the tricks you add to it, it needs a personality. And this is kind of where I want to turn it over to Erik, because by chance, Dan lives in the same town that Erik does. And please correct me, Erik, if I'm wrong. And they're like out walking their dogs or something. They don't know each other, right? And they kind of met, started talking, and because I had told Dan, I'm like, we need to find an artist. Like, we need to find an artist who could develop a style for us to do this. And like a few weeks later, he's out walking, and he meets Erik, and they start talking. And I remember Dan calling me up. He's like, I think we found the artist.
Wow.
And I'll let Erik kind of take it from here.
It was really funny. Dan and I both have black labs, and we probably live maybe 7 blocks from each other. And there's a park right behind his house, and my wife were there, and I were there with our dog, and he was there with his kids and his dog. And we just got to talking, and we really like got along really great. And he just felt so familiar, and it turns out that we have a lot of friends, like mutual friends, that I bet our paths even cross sometime at some point. But regardless, that was probably a little before probably what you're talking about, Amado, but he called me, and I was at a job, and he goes, hey, I'm looking for an artist. And I was working at another place at the time, and I was like, well, what are you doing? And he kind of told me about the Captain America backpacks and the OEM work and kind of the agency style stuff. I was like, well, that sounds really interesting. I liked what I was doing, but I was looking for something a little more. And I was like, and he just said, well, this is what I'm looking for. And I said, well, I think I might be your guy if you want to talk about it. And he was like, cool, let's do it. And that's Dan's total style, right? Like, if you're interested, you're in, So about 2 weeks later, I had a new office down that I could walk to.
Wow.
That's cool.
And so then we started doing some stuff. And along with one of the first projects was a Street Fighter pin set. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it comes in a box that looks like the old arcade game. Mm-hmm. That was kind of our first foray into pins, and that's when he started talking about it with me about pins. And that was a really fun project. I had never done pins before, but I'm a vector illustrator sort of by nature. So doing hard line work and like color fills, and it just all happened so fast. Once we got the first samples of the pins back, and I put a little shading in them just so that they weren't so flat. And he was like, okay, by the way, I had this other idea. And then I was like, okay, well, that's all I want to do. Let's do that one. And that was it. Like literally, like the next week, I was doing the agency stuff at night, so we could focus on FigPin. And then Amado was like, instead of a once a week call, he was an everyday call from that point on.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Look, I think I was talking to Amado earlier, and FigPin's just been around since what, 2016, 2017, in terms of actually putting pins on the market.
Boy,
it depends. Yeah, it really depends on what you would consider like the first FigPin, because we kind of debate about that. There's Mike Piazza, right?
Right.
Which really wasn't like a publicly sold pin. It was kind of an OEM project, right?
Yeah.
The Mets had this gift box that they were giving out to some VIPs, and we manufactured that one for him. But technically, he's FigPin number 1. FigPin number 2
cool.
was a Best Buy box set.
I got a story about that. I'll tell you about that. Yeah.
and so that's really the first pin that went out into the wild was Goku number 2. And when we saw our first YouTube video review of that box set, I think like from that day we knew we had something.
That's something, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
this one guy, like we were just talking about this other day. The one guy that reviewed it, he was kind of emptying the stuff out of the box, and he's like, and there's a mug, and there's like
some socks. The shot glass.
Yeah, and a shot glass, and then he's like, and then there's this. Oh my! Like he just went like crazy for it. The way he was looking at that FigPin, like you want your significant other to look at you,
Yeah.
and he's like this awesome FigPin or this awesome product, right? And we looked at each other like, oh man, what did we do? Like we figured something out here, didn't we?
We're gonna be busy, huh?
Most people that watch this and these guys, they know that I work at Best Buy. So I have a son who's 24 years old now, but he is the ultimate Dragon Ball Z fan. And so his birthday came around and I didn't know what to get him. And so I'm walking through the aisles at Best Buy and I see this box Dragon Ball Z. Had no idea about this pen thing that's in there. And so I got the box for him. And he opened it on his birthday, and he opened it, and the very same thing. He loved the socks. He wore the socks. The mug was cool. The shot glass. He wasn't drinking at the time because he was in high school. And it was the pen, right? So he held on to this pen, held on to it. And then he started, seeing his dad. I started collecting them after that because I thought they just like that guy who unboxed it. And so just recently, which is really funny, I pulled up on eBay and showed him how much that pen was worth. The first thing he says, "Can you sell that for me?"
How much is it going for?
It's a few $100 now for that.
Get out of here. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We've seen we've seen pins break the $1,500 mark.
Wow.
Oh, the very first one you were talking about, though, just the Piazza.
Mike Piazza.
Yeah. And then John, what is it? The wrestler.
Cena?
John Cena, right? That pen, I see it for several $1,000s, and see.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, for several $1,000s on eBay. Yeah,
that is crazy. That is crazy.
I only have this one grill. This is, you can't see it here, but this is the.
Here, we'll make it big. We'll make it big so they can put it. Go ahead.
See you can see it. Yeah, you can see that. Let's see if I can
the lights were full. The lights were reflecting.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Which one is that?
That's from God of War. Yeah, that was one of the first ones that I ever bought. That I actually found it in the wild. Can you believe that?
Whoa.
I found it on the shelf. It was pretty cool. But anyway, that was the story about that first pen. Go ahead.
That's the answer to your question. That was our first kind of product release in the wild. Was the Goku number 2, and then soon after that we had a Tekken set that we sold in Target, I believe, and then a Mass Effect set, and then Dragon Ball and the rest. But those were really the first ones out there. I remember when we did the Dragon Ball set, the Mass Effect set. We were so thrilled to see it in Target, and they performed terribly. Like nobody bought them.
Oh, wow.
and they weren't really distributed well in the store. So like one store would have like one pin, and another store would have like 10 cases of pins, and
Gosh.
we'd walk in there and we'd like, oh, this can't be, this can't be happening. But it's a good lesson to learn early on that getting something into a store does not necessarily mean it's going to sell.
As someone who's labeled as a toy hunter, because my thing is that I go around from store to store and I film what's in the stores and I try to find things that I like. How do you guys go about getting your product in the stores? Is that like, do the companies reach out to you, or do you have to reach out to them?
Well, that's a great question. This is kind of it's a shame we don't have Dan with us, because he is he's
I think that's going to be the go-to answer tonight.
Where's Dan?
No, he's an absolute wizard when it comes to doing that. Just the other day, I'm not going to say which license, but we had talked about this one license that the three of us were really interested in, and we get an email yesterday, and Dan's like, yeah, just set up a meeting with them, and we were like, how'd you do that? Like, he goes, I just did this and other thing, and now we have a meeting with this license that we were like dreaming of.
You're done.
And so he's just really good at getting people to talk to us. And I think Erik has some great stories about in the early days, just going to these licensing shows and going to these kind of retail shows and just watching Dan in action, making his way through these kind of walls that you're talking about. Because really getting into a GameStop or Target or Walmart, it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
No.
But he's built this up over 4 years, all these relationships and these connections. And I think a lot of it has to do with the product. When people see the product, at least in person, when they see the product in person, they immediately say, yeah, this thing will do well, because it's very attractive, and it's also like for retail, it doesn't take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of hurts us a little bit when people are trying to find it and it's not displayed well. But from a retail perspective, and we'll use Pop as an example just because it's very relevant here. For every pop display, you could put like 8 fig pins, right, on the shelf.
Yeah.
So the retailer finds that to be really good for them, because there you go.
Which one is that? Is that a whole
Actually, you know what? There was a real intentional design there. We took a pop box. We had not done retail, and we were really trying to get into GameStop because they were interested, and Dan kind of had fish on the hook, right? And so when we were doing the packaging, we looked at we realized that what they measure is dollars per square inch.
Correct.
Of their store, right? Like we didn't know that, and so we took our box and then we
didn't know
measured the
anything.
box. And if you could fit in the same footprint exactly 6 fig pins in the same footprint as a pop box.
Wow. Nice.
And so our whole thing was, yeah, but wouldn't you want 6 times the money?
Yeah.
So I got a quick question from a member in our chat. He super chatted us. Jarrett, thank you so much for the super chat. He said he wants to know, are you going to make the XL Ultra Instinct Goku fig pin? if you guys can give out that information or not, that's up to you.
You can plead the fifth. It's okay.
I'll let Amado take this.
No.
There you go.
I know why Calvin's laughing. So we were actually talking earlier about XL. So it's been kind of discussed on Reddit and Facebook and a couple other places about how we've sunsetted the minis and how we're also sunsetting the XLs, meaning we're not going to be making them anymore. And
okay.
Yeah, so the minis, they're done. It was an experiment that didn't really work for us. The fans came back and said, we want 3-inch pins in a hard case. The minis are cute, but we want the collectible piece. Yeah, and the collectible means like it's just like another box that they could put in their collection. As a matter of fact, when we made the soft case of the 3-inch pin and put it in GameStop, nobody wanted it. It had a lower price point of $9.99, and people just kept asking like, "Where's the hard case?" Some people were thinking like it was like a knockoff or something, or like some like cheapo version of it. And
From
so
China.
for XL, there's a couple of factors that went into us kind of parting ways with the XL for now, and that is the packaging just wasn't performing well, not in retail, not in shipping, and it wasn't as elevated as our 3-inch pin. From the very beginning, when we first saw XL, we were like, these are amazing. These are absolutely beautiful pieces of art.
They are. I love the one that Calvin has with the Venom. That thing is just gorgeous.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah. I love the size.
So yeah, and we still really love them as a piece of art, because that's what it is. It's this piece of art rendered in hard enamel style. Nobody can touch that. It's absolutely beautiful. But we need to fix it. We need to fix its packaging. We need to start addressing all the action poses that we're starting to develop now. The current XL setup doesn't allow us to do that.
Gotcha.
We also need to figure out why XL. When we talk about which pins become XLs, I think we had a very kind of disjointed approach to doing them. Like sometimes it was, well, we really like this pin, let's just make an XL version of it, which is a totally legitimate kind of reason. And then there are other times like, well, you have like Kingpin and Spider-Man, and there's this play on scale, or like the some of the other scaled up pins that were like scale relevant, like Godzilla, you could say. But then you have like an XL Mickey Mouse, which it's a beautiful piece. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it didn't really make sense, right? So I think we as a company need to really focus on making the 3-inch product as good as it can be, as successful as it can be, and then I think we can revisit XL and say, how can we take that format and elevate it to the same level that 3-inch is at? Yeah. And at the same time, like, we can't just keep cranking out XLs while we figure that out. That's really that's not fair to the collectors, and that's not fair to the brand that we've built so far.
I will say, as a collector and following you guys on social media and your responses to various things, I appreciate what you're saying, because you're right about the packaging and things like that. As much as I love XLs, and I'm only missing one, and that is Master Chief. I don't know who can get that, but that's not.
Oh, Jesus!
That's not a hint or anything.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Please send to PO Box.
Yeah, no. But what you were saying is that I can wait if that's what you're doing, because even the ones that I'm looking at here, like the packaging, they don't travel well. They don't package well, both on the shelf. And if they get things stacked on them on the shelf at the store, they get scuffed up and cracked. And I agree with you on that. So I can wait for better packaging and a new idea concept for XLs, because I love them.
And I think it's important. Sorry, but I think it's one more thing is that XL is like, yeah, we're FigPin and we make enamel pins, but XL is not a pin, right? It's not a pin. Like, we could call it a pin all day long. But
why not? We can rock that thing into the thing.
I know somebody that carries Godzilla in his backpack picking out.
I always made the joke like the XLs won't go through TSA.
That is a great point. That is a great point.
So I think one of the things that we're thinking of XL is, how do we elevate that piece of art and present it and package it without this kind of pin thing hanging over us, because you look at that Mandalorian that you have in front of you. It's nice to stand it up for sure, but that thing needs to be framed and hung on a wall. Like
It's beautiful.
it's a piece of art.
It
Yeah.
is. It is a piece of art. It is.
So we got.
Can I go ahead?
Sorry, we got another super chat. We got Jarrett Henderson again asking, "Can I buy my own personal 1-of-1 Ultra Instinct Goku?"
This guy's trying, man.
He's pushing. He's pushing.
You got a fan there.
Did we ever even make that? Did we make that? No, we didn't make that. Okay.
No, this is the.
We're like 800 pins in. I can't remember what we've made and what we haven't made.
All right, go ahead, Ralph. I'm sorry.
Well, that's part of it. The 800 pins in. You guys have quite a collection, a diverse collection between, just IP. You got Marvel in there. You got Disney. You got Dragon Ball. You got so many others. I've seen the X-Men running around. I mean, you got DC in there. Is the pin world similar to Pops? Because I heard Pops got away with being able to do everybody because the bobblehead was not considered an action figure. It was not considered a toy, so they can grab every license because nobody had that. Is that the same scenario with FigPin because there wasn't anything, let's say, pin related other than Disney? Because I remember being a dad taking my kids to the Disney store and they would swap out pins with people and I want this one, Dad, and I'm going to trade it for her. I get that, but in this world, I mean, we're now adults, but you guys have quite an extensive collection. Is that the same way in the pin world?
When we sign our licenses, we don't get. A lot of times they have partnerships with pin makers, and so we get put in a different category with collectibles.
Oh,
okay.
Wow. Yeah.
Aside from the pin makers, and so it's a whole other set of approval process. It's a whole other team of people that we submit to. I would say from personal experience, I don't know how the other pin companies go about approvals, but they're pretty strict on the feedback. So, which is great. We always want to do the best thing possible. But so we're in the collectibles arena
Category
of the licenses. So, at this point, I would say that licensing has not been a problem. It's making sure that we can fulfill on the promise of the license when we get it.
And that's for me is so impressive. I mean, Ralph, you only touched the surface. It just goes on and on from Call of Duty, DC, Disney, Star Wars, Fallout, Gears of War, Godzilla, Halo, Looney Tunes, Mass Effects, Marvel. It just goes on and on. And that is amazing.
And what most people don't know is we are a tiny, tiny company.
Right.
Like relative to other companies, we are.
And you got like more licenses than Hot Toys behind stuff over there.
Yeah.
So we're getting a new office space where up in Mill Creek where we are, and it's one room.
Wow.
So Amado mentioned something that kind of piqued a really good question that I wanted to bring up when you were talking about scaling and you brought up Spider-Man and Kingpin and stuff like that. Have you guys thought about possibly doing like a diorama, like a scene piece of like more than one character on a pin?
Like the cantina at Star Wars? The entire cantina? Jabba's palace? I'm just shooting these out.
So you're asking. It's kind of an interesting question because this is something that we've dealt with. Is a fig pin just one character, or can it be two characters? And I think we've already, or is it like a character and an object, right? So if you look at Mr. Incredible holding his kid, right? That's
Jack,
two
Jack,
characters. Yeah. Well, Jack, yeah, that's two characters. If you look at
IG-11 and
IG-11,
Baby Yoda.
That's
Luke
two.
Tauntaun,
yeah.
That's
Look
two.
on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mickey on the Vespa was like a character on a vehicle.
Gotcha.
So I think we've been kind of like pushing the limits a little bit on that. Regarding the diorama, I think that's a really cool idea, but I would much rather have that become a kind of a product you buy after you buy a fig pin.
Gotcha.
I really want fig pins to always be the pin in a box.
Gotcha.
And then what you do with it afterwards, whether it's the digital journey goes on or whether it's the arrangement, is after the fact. Like, we have these we have these bases that we kind of
Right.
started including in
Yeah.
the box sets. And so we're seeing a lot of people get really creative with how they display the product with these bases.
Mhm.
Oh, he's got your rogue, Ralph.
He has my rogue. I'm missing a
This
rogue.
was she, yeah. So I think it's really it's about designing a system that lets that kind of creativity happen after the product is purchased.
Gotcha. So do you guys ever get like just random emails or random messages from people like suggesting like, hey, you guys what do you think about acquiring this license or getting this license or maybe doing something with trying to get this character? You know, I'm sure you guys get an abundance of that.
All the time. Yeah, all the time. And it, so you'll hear me say this a lot. Like it sounds like a cheesy kind of commercial, but I have every support ticket that comes to the company forwarded to my inbox because I like to just, besides torture myself in reading some of them.
We're gonna
really
get to
like
that, by the way. We're gonna get to that.
I really like hearing kind of what people are saying about the product, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the fans really come up with some great some great ideas. As a matter of fact, we have this guy recently who started doing kind of fan mock-ups of characters that they'd like to see, and one of the first ones that they did, like, you could tell that they had taken one of the assets we had done and tried to chop it up in Photoshop and kind of put like their art in it, and I kind of like cringed. I'm like, no. And I asked some of my like Discord friends, I'm like, can you find out who that is and give him this Photoshop file that I prepped for him so he could just slip his ideas into the Photoshop file. So he's been like cranking out these things, and they're not going to get made into FigPins because we have a whole other process that we go through to determine what. But the love that we're seeing and the ideas and the kind of approach that we're seeing is it will rub off on us, one way or another. We're going to say, hey, you know what, we never thought of maybe doing this or maybe doing that, or we never thought of approaching this category in this way. So I love it.
Is this the same guy that did
something that we're planning on doing, and we can get a preview of their reaction, right?
Right, exactly. Is this the same guy that did the Disney villains mock-up, man? Because I was just that Disney villains thing just got me going. I was like,
for what it's worth, that Disney villains mock-up was really good, and I have to be careful what I say here. Like, it was really good to the point where we were like, did someone leak something?
When I saw that, I just stopped, and then I looked at, oh my God, it's a mock-up, because I really thought that was something that you guys had posted. But
it's good stuff. I absolutely love seeing that stuff, and like I actually created a logo for them so that, because we don't want them to get in trouble with licensors. If you put FigPin and like Disney and someone in Disney sees that, they're like, hey, what are these guys doing? So I created this logo called FanPin. And so now whenever they do these mock-ups, it just says FanPin, but it looks like FigPin. And it's just a way of us kind of saying, these are coming from our fans. We love it. Please keep doing more.
Oh, that's
awesome. That is so awesome. That
is really good.
That is awesome.
So I gotta ask this question just because it wouldn't be me if I didn't ask this question. Oh my goodness,
here we go.
No. Is there a certain character or a certain license that you guys haven't done yet or like to acquire, or what's the character, the one character that each one of you guys would like to see made? I guess.
Well, for me, it's real simple. Because growing up, I had one hero in becoming an artist growing up, and that's Charles Schultz. The Peanuts is my number one thing. Of all the things I like in the world, Peanuts is number one. So if I could do Peanuts, we could do that all day forever.
Nice.
I have a funny story if you want to hear it.
Absolutely.
Just 1 second. So we got another super chat from $10 for Mills Fam Collectibles. He's saying he's a big fan of FigPin. Thank you all for making an awesome product. Hoping to see a Hanna-Barbera Scooby-Doo one day.
Oh wow.
Was it Scrappy? Oh, I think we
Oh.
just like Amado.
Oh, we just lost
Yeah.
Amado.
But Eric, you were saying.
Yes. So when I was in 4th grade, right? This was a long time ago. In 4th grade, I sort of stopped doing my schoolwork, and I just drew Snoopy and Charlie Brown all day long, all day. My mom would bring home. Remember that old printer paper that came on with?
Oh yeah, with the perforations on the side, yeah.
And she would bring it home from work, all the recycled box, right, of all the extra paper, and it was just free paper all day long. And so I would just draw Snoopy. I would just hole up in my room. I'd even get grounded on purpose so no one would bug me.
That's a Seth move right there.
That is a Seth move.
Yeah. So then I would just draw them all, and I brought them into show and tell one day. And my teacher said, "These are so great. Can I borrow them?" And I was like, "Of course, yeah." And so what she did was, this was like 1980, maybe 1979, 1980. She took them all and she bound them into a book.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And then she put it in the library and made a checkout card. So like all my friends could check out my book.
Wow.
I was like,
oh,
I'm going to be an artist for the rest of my life, starting today.
If that's not a level of encouragement that you know that you know, and that's the funny thing, you don't see things like that, like, you know, people taking the initiative like that to actually promote what a student might be good at, you know, to accentuate that. So, you know, the fact that your teacher realized that you had, you know, the artist ability was great.
Yeah, her name was Miss Raymond. She's not around anymore, but that was a good teacher. The one weird part was I had to see if my book was there so I could take it home and look at it. Because I have all my drawings.
See how many people checked it out, right?
Yeah. You know, sorry for dropping out there. No problem. I was when Mills Fam Collectibles said that, I was like gonna just message Eric real quick, and I accidentally closed the tab. Before the call, I was talking to our marketing team member, and I was like, hey, you know, it would be really cool to kind of to show something that hasn't been announced yet on this video. To, you know, like not necessarily
an exclusive,
not necessarily leak, but you know, just show something. And so we went through the list, and we got to a short list. It's just like Eric wasn't. I don't think he was part of that conversation, because I think we did it over the phone. And the one that she said she's totally fine with showing is totally related to what Mills Fam asked for. So I don't know, Eric, if you have the one with the two together, I think that would be really cool.
We'll let Eric pull that out, and we'll put that up on the big screen for everybody to see. That's awesome.
Yeah. So Mills Fam will. Here we go.
Mills Fam getting all excited now. All right, let me put Eric on the big screen.
I keep him up on my windowsill because the silhouettes are so important. But okay, here we go.
The world premiere. Sweet scoop! There you go. Oh, that is awesome.
That is really nice.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that looks just like a cartoon.
That is awesome.
Oh,
Zoink scoop!
Oh my god. My eyes are all watering right now.
That is freaking awesome. That is so cool.
All right, so that, like you said, is pretty awesome. We're going to pivot just for a moment, because there is something for me that makes like the completion of why this is so cool and so unique. The app. I don't know. I know it's yours, Amado, your idea. I think the app is, or you're working on it or whatever. But if you could explain to people why this app is so significant, and because and I say that because I've got friends that collect Fig pens that have never even opened them and haven't. And George is one of them. He's not on the show. He has the Mandalorian pens, and he goes, "You got to show me how to use that app thing." And I'm like, "You're missing part of the excitement of collecting Fig pens by not having the app."
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I hear often is like the only reason I start collecting FigPins is the app.
Yes.
Right. Which is really really amazing to hear, because FigPin is such a beautiful product, right? Like that something other than the amazing product triggered them to start collecting FigPins. So let me see if I could give you like the quick 30 seconds, right? Every FigPin that we make has a unique alphanumeric serial number laser engraved on the back of the pin.
It looks like Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. This is the one that
Wolverine.
I showed, I think, in our last video that I wasn't supposed to show. And so if you download the FigPin app and create an account, you enter the serial number, and what we call, you unlock it. You unlock the pin in the app, and the app is going to show you some manufacturing attributes of the pin. So we call that the factory score. What edition the pin was, how many were made in that production run, and then what sequence number your pin is in that production run. So if it was a run of 1,000 pieces, your pin might be number 320 of 1,000, or 10 of 1,000, or 1,000 of 1,000.
That's
and
cool.
so the system scores your pin based on those attributes from 0 to 100. And like let me see if I could. I don't know if my phone will show well on the camera here. Anytime I do this, it really doesn't look that good. But I just want to pull up this one screen. Okay, so
Yes.
you guys, y'all could see that, right?
Yeah.
More or less. So this red part is what we call the factory score, but then there's this other part which we call the story score, which is really what happens to the pin after you buy it. Like, what are all the things you do with it as a collector? And the very first one that you start off with is what we call the adopter. Were you one of the first people to unlock the pin? Were you first? Were you second? Were you 50th? And this has become like a really sought after thing to get.
It's a race. It's a race. It's like the same thing like when you go to when there's a release at a store, you want to be the first one in the store to get it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So and then we now we're building all these other story what we call story cards that add to the story score. So you take the factory score and you multiply it by the story score, and that gives you your FigPin power, right? So the more stuff you do with your pin as a collector, the more powerful it gets. And so the question is going to be, well, what do you do with all this power? And what we're releasing in the near future, I know I've been saying that for like 2 years and people hate me for that.
No one believes you anymore.
Nobody believes me. But I swear we're releasing it in the near future now, is a product that we call FigPin Ultra, which is like a very elevated kind of product experience. It's us taking everything we've learned about FigPin in the last few years and delivering it in a way that we think is really elegant and exclusive and just something special. So the FigPin power, or your collection power, I should say, because every FigPin that you have has power, and all of that added together is your collection power. Your FigPin power is going to be one of the attributes that determines whether you could get one of these ultras or not, whether you could buy one of these ultras or not. So there's a destination. There's a place where you could get to. You become a kind of VIP member in this kind of collecting sphere. But I think more than just the ultimate FigPin power score, I think it's just fun to go through these things and get points. There is the boosts that has become a very kind of talked about feature, and it's a really simple idea. When you unlock your pin, it goes into this like live stream news feed called the Unlocker Room, right? And while it's in the Unlocker Room, you can boost your pin. It's kind of like liking it. You can boost your pin, and other people can boost your pin to a maximum of 100 points. The thing is that you could only boost 3 times a day. So it's not like you could go in there and like smash the like button all day long. You only have 3 to give away, and you could use one for yourself. So when your pin goes through the Unlocker Room, you kind of have to be selective about who are you going to give these boosts to. Are you going to give it to friends? Are you going to give it to pins that you find interesting? Are you going to set up 100 fake accounts and start selling? Start selling boosting for money.
That's a whole nother show.
That's another show, yeah.
Another show.
The dark side of FigPin.
like it's a thing, and we're trying to fix it. But and you know, I think Calvin knows all about this because we have a Discord that's app focused, and we talk about it a lot. I think that the neat thing about boosting and the snacks boosting and even the boost abusing that's happening is that it is still part of the story of this FigPin. Meaning, if you have a FigPin and yours got a max boosts in like 5 minutes, when it those were ill-gotten boosts. Like it's on its rap sheet, you know. So the idea that this story card is forever going to be part of this pin's history, I think makes it interesting. So as we grow and as we evolve the app, we're going to just better understand where something like this fits in. And then there's going to be battles. You'll be able to battle pins.
That's cool.
Kind of like based on all these card values that you have, you'll be able to have like challenge other players and enter an arena and battle them. You're going to be able to check in pins. So if you take your pin, if you have it like on your bag and you go to a con, you could check that pin in and earn points. Like you could earn San Diego 2022 kind of check-in points for that pin.
Calvin's like, I'm taking all my pins with me the next time I go to the convention.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're building this other feature for a sports team that we're doing a promo with a sports team where they're getting a VIP personality who's going to sign all of the packaging, right? That was the idea.
I was hoping you could tell me it's the Yankees.
No, we're all on the wrong side of the country.
I am wearing my Yankees FigPin shirt though.
That is the Yankees FigPin logo.
No, it's not the Yankees. It's the FigPin with black vertical striped shirt, please.
Yankees inspired.
Yeah, we changed, like we had all of our logo pins. They had like the Mandalorian logo pin, and we were like stop that. It's the desert sunset logo pin.
I want to say something about what you were talking about just real quick about the story of the pin. Like, things happen, things go wrong, there are mistakes that are made. And like in the Mandalorian pin set that you guys did, remember a lot of us got pins that when you put the number in, it was a different character. It wasn't the right character. And a lot of people I was reading got all up in arms about it, but it's so cool how you guys pivoted and made that thing right, where you go, hey guys, do this, contact us. Let us know what's going on. We're going to send you a brand new pen. And not only we're going to send you a new pen, we're going to add a special score to your pen. It's going to be unique that it was an error in that pen to even boost your score higher. And of course, you had to send the defective one back. But it's those types of things that I think make people fall in love with FigPin because accidents happen, things go wrong. And every time that's happened, it's been really cool watching you guys respond to your fans.
Just real quick, I got 2 super chats. So we got one from $9.99 from the Venomized Beard. Just realized Fig Pins remind me of Shrinky Dinks from the 80s. I guess I found a new addiction. And then you can't fault my man Jared for trying again. He says it's unfortunate because I only collect the XL pins. Can I get a commitment for an XL Ultra Instinct Goku when you bring them back? Last one, I promise.
Gonna have to get this guy's address to send him something.
He should be in sales.
I'm gonna have to send him something.
He may have
go ahead, Raphael.
I just a comment on what Amado was saying. I mean, that's taking the simple product of just getting one pin and putting it on and just expanding the user experience, having that virtual score that you could keep boosting. And then, like you said, it puts you in that VIP club. So when Calvin gets that life-size The Child that may be available in the future, and George is like, I'll buy it from you for like $5,000, you're going to be like, you should have used the app. So at this point, if you're a FigPin buyer, you should download the app, start messing it, and start opening your pins. It's almost like that Toy Story 2 where the guy was still in the box. Take him out the box, or do you need to can they get that code while the thing is still in package, or do they have to open it?
They have to open it. But see,
No,
that's the
okay.
cool thing. I want to say something about that because this is one of the few or only collectibles other than these statues. When you're talking about things of this size that you can open, you can handle, you can display it, enjoy it, put it back in the box, and it doesn't lose its value because it has
That's great.
that is awesome. You can't do that with pops because everybody needs this pop to have not one little nick, not one little scratch, but fig pens. You can open them, you can take them out, you can display them.
Yeah,
and they hold the value.
Yeah, so I wanted to show you.
Here, let me get you big.
Yeah. So this is
that's the Mark 85. Yeah.
This is in this new packaging that we're going to start making in the next couple of weeks. We call this like a PET wrap. So this thing has like a clear wrap over it right now, and it hangs kind of straight like when it's in retail. But to your point, Calvin, like this will just come right off. You know, when you get an iPad, it's wrapped in that plastic. This will come right off, and you could put it right back in because it'll have a removable kind of adhesive dot on the bottom, and now the sleeves will be in mint condition, even if they were banged around in retail. And then also to your point, you can open these things 100 times over and put them back together. As a matter of fact, like we're going to be setting up our store to allow you to buy replacement sleeves. These here.
Nice.
Yeah, and also to buy like replacement cards too.
Oh, wow,
dude, that's great.
Because really the collectible is this. This is the thing of value. This is the thing that has the serial number on it, and all those other parts you can refresh them. Like it doesn't matter. They're not part of the like mint condition kind of mentality that you see in other collectibles. Like it's about this thing, and we've had that mindset like from the very beginning that all this other stuff. You could refresh it, you could open it, you could close it, you could do whatever, but it's the pin. And you know, I've always said, like, if you find this here, there you go. If you find this in a drawer like 15 years from now, it's like a piece of jewelry. It's not like a vinyl figure or something. It's a really nice piece of art. And I think that this is one of the reasons that people like what we're doing so much is we treat every single one of these as a piece of jewelry, as a piece of art.
That's great.
That is really cool. That's awesome because you don't see a lot of people doing that, especially you know, again, you know, the company I currently have beef with, Funko. You know, you know, I was for the longest time I was an avid inbox collector. Every box had to be mint. I was a stickler, you know. And when I ordered something from them and something came in damaged because obviously it wasn't packed to, you know, whose ever standards, and you know the box was damaged, you would have to try to reach out to them to get a replacement box. Now, with that being said, that was one of the most painstaking processes because most of the time you couldn't even get through to them, nor could you even get a replacement box. So the fact that you guys, again, have the collector in mind by offering new replacement backs and new packaging and stuff like that available for people to get is amazing, and it speaks volumes. And just because of that, I'm going out tomorrow and I'm purchasing my very first FigPin.
I found my first FigPin. I already purchased it. It's already in storage. I found the child yesterday when I got my shot. I grabbed them. I took them to storage because I'm in the middle of my move. But I'm like, that's the first one. So I found my first FigPin. Nice. And there's got to be, like, to me, I really like the XL ones. I haven't dabbled in it because I'm not home. So, you know, a whole bunch of FigPins, somebody's going to kill me. But that being the case, I definitely like I like the bigger size. I like not the minis, but the bigger ones. And that you guys have, like he said, just taken a collector into mind and even expanded the experience to have it virtually and say, hey, your pin can go on this journey with you, and that takes you to a destination where you can get an exclusive only when you have so many points. You know, everybody's going to want to go ahead and start opening their packages, and it goes back to the whole days of like toys are supposed to be played with, or collectibles.
It gives the collector a peace of mind that, you know, companies have their best interests. So like in speaking to you guys, I mean, you know, that's great that you guys put the collectors, you know, the collectors first. You're clearly concerned about, you know, the customer and stuff like that, because you do get a lot of these companies that obviously only have the dollar on the brain, which I get. You got, you know, at the end of the day, everybody's got to turn a profit. Everybody's got to eat. And I get that, but the fact that you guys are on here right now and you guys are 2 out of the 3 founders and you guys are saying our main goal is the customer, that speaks volumes right there to me. So I appreciate that as a collector.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, there's one.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
You know, from day one, like literally, it was when Dan and I went to the licensing show to do agency stuff. Everybody was like, run towards the thing that's making money, and we were like, but all of that stuff just isn't that appealing to us, you know, personally. And we were like, what if we made something completely opposite of that? You know, like, let's run towards the thing that where no one's standing, and see if they'll run with us, you know? And I think it sort of, you know, at our age and our experience level, like, to us, it means something to be great at something, to strive for something quality, and to give something to people that really want to share in that feeling, and to value people's dollar, right, that they spend, to not give them something that isn't great. Like, we strive to be great on all levels because we understand that. And it got confirmed for us right away at our first couple of cons. It's not just a product, it's really about a community, that people really rally around something and they love it, and they want to be a part of something bigger than the little thing in their hand. And that really resonated with us, because it meant that for us, we did the right thing instinctually, and in return, it's something that's a little harder to keep up with as you scale, but it's worth the pain and the extra work to get it, because you bond tighter with everybody who loves what you do, and that we love them for being fans and supporting us, you know, in the same way. So
Yep. And you know, and just to kind of segue off that a little bit, and maybe it's a bad thing, but we're also really honest about what we're doing. When you look at the app, it's telling you the app is driven directly from the run sizes that we send to the factory, that are from the purchase orders that we make as a company. So when you see all these like weird run size numbers in the app, like, you know, this pin, there was 2,022 pieces made. It's because we literally made 2,022 pieces. All of our data is made visible, is made public in the app. Whenever we talk to fans or to the community, you know, we'll, like Calvin was saying, like, if we screw something up or if there's a mistake, we'll say, hey, we made the mistake. We're going to try to fix it. We're going to try to figure out a way to do it. Yeah. And we do it. And I think one of the secrets here, to Eric's point, is that the three of us just didn't come from a collectibles kind of universe. I'm trained as an architect. Eric's an artist. Like, we came at it as like 3 professionals wanting to make a very high quality, high end product, and we didn't have all that like collectibles baggage with us. We just wanted to make a really amazing experience for fans, and I think that's a big part of the success that we're starting to see with FigPin.
With the app, just recently, you guys, I remember, Amado, you on a show some time ago, maybe right before COVID or right after COVID, you were talking about all of the different options of getting someone to get the first unlock, and people were saying people in California get it first, and then all of that kind of stuff happened. But then you guys came up with this thing where you're doing the unlock dates for pens. I was part of the first unlock date that you guys did, and I will say it didn't go well. But however, I would look, Amado. I felt so bad for you because you got roasted. You got absolutely roasted in the chats and everywhere, man. It was bad. You probably had one of the worst days you probably had. But then, man, the amount of work you guys put in just a week to fix it, and then the very next unlock date was a completely different experience, man. That was awesome. If you can explain a little bit about what that actually is, this whole unlock date thing.
Yeah, so just to rewind a little bit, we do all of our shipping out of California. So with the adopter card or the adopter score, who unlocks it first, it was always people in Orange County. It was always people like in California, because we'd ship stuff out, they'd receive it first, and they'd unlock it first. And then everyone in the Midwest, West Coast they'd be screwed because they can't, they can never win that game. So initially, I thought the way to fix that is for us to like maybe stagger the shipping, like ship everything East Coast first and back.
Sounds so good on paper.
Yeah, that wasn't going to work. So we said, let's just set a date, and we said initially 10 days after we list a product and we ship a product, we'll call it the unlock day, and that's when people can start unlocking. The problem that we really ran into was a technology problem, and that is you have like thousands of people trying to do something at the exact same time, and our servers could handle that, but what our servers couldn't handle was because people really want those early unlocks. People had written a lot of scripts and bots and
yeah.
They had different methods to try to defeat the system. And when we sat down and looked at it after the infamous unlock day that Cal was talking about, our system was being hit by I think the number was like it was like 120,000 requests a minute or something.
Wow.
It wasn't fans. It was mostly these bots just kind of banging away at the system, kind of ruining it for everyone else.
Yeah.
So we did some stuff on the back end to fix that. And the other thing that we did is we put specific times for each pin. So if there were 5 pins, we'll say this one's at 8 o'clock, and this one's at 10, and this one's at 12, et cetera, et cetera. And that, I think that helped a lot too, because before it was kind of at some point in the day, it was like a random time during the day. And I guess when you do that and you mix bots in there, they just destroy your system on that day.
You guys don't want to work for Sony PlayStation or Xbox, so I can order at least one of those guys? Because, I mean, just the idea of fighting bots is, nobody does that. And that just speaks volume about your guys' character and your guys' company. And I really appreciate that you guys, I mean, Calvin experienced it. I wasn't there, but Calvin can attest that it wasn't the best experience. But you guys went ahead and remedied that, corrected it, and had an actual attack plan. So that way the actual real fans can enjoy it. So that's awesome that you guys are thinking that deeply.
So, and we're go ahead.
I'll go. No, I was just going to say something stupid, but yeah, you can go ahead. I'm sorry.
So was I.
Yeah, me too.
So unlock day has been pretty good, and what we're now looking at, we're kind of talking about this idea of saying like, Scooby-Doo, you're going to unlock him on like April whatever at 5 p.m., right? But 15 minutes before everyone goes into the unlocker room, we're going to have this lobby, right? And this is the first time I think most people are hearing about this. So 15 minutes before the doors open, let's say, there's going to be a lobby. And if you submit your serial number into that lobby, you're going to be entered into a chance of winning an AP version of that pin.
Oh wow! Explain to them what an AP is. An AP version is. Yes.
You'll be to win an AP version of the pin, to get your pin that you eventually unlock max boosted, just like that, like instant.
Whoa!
Oh my god!
And then also the system, like everyone in the lobby will get auto like randomly assigned an unlock position. So it's not about this who could like smash the button faster.
Yeah.
It's you go into this lobby and everyone in there is going to get something good out of it.
That's cool.
Great,
and
dude.
yeah, and we kind of look at it like you got your con ticket, and you're guaranteed to get in. That's good. But if you wait online early in the morning, you're probably going to get something better. You know, so that's kind of how we're looking at this at this kind of unlocker lobby. Like if you get in here, you're probably going to get something better. So to your question about AP, when we manufacture FigPins, we're contractually obligated to make an extra batch of pins for the licensors. So if we make if we make like 1,000 Ironmans, we have to make an extra 30 or 40 or 50 that we keep aside to give to the licensor, and then they take it and do whatever they do with it. Some licensors want 30, some want 20, some want 5. So we just run like 50. That's the number that we run right now, and we call those artist proofs. They are manufactured at the same time, but they're digitally segregated into this kind of group, and we can't sell those pins. We have to give them away to the licensor or to fans or to influencers or to we give those away. So they've just become a very desirable FigPin. Oftentimes having 5, 6, 7 times more value than a regular FigPin. So AP has just kind of turned into like the FigPin logo pin. It has turned into its own like monster, and it's a beautiful monster. And I think we there you go. There's the logo pins, and we're looking at AP and saying, you know what? There's no point in us just sitting on like a bunch of APs in our warehouse. Let's try to give back to the fans that are coming to us and using the app. Let's give back to them and start seeding some of these APs back into the the user base. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So what I was going to ask is, what is and I have to put this out there because it's just me being me. What are the possibilities of us getting a MCE 3-pack of Fig pins of me, Calvin, and George, who's not on the show with us tonight? We can get like an MCE 3-pack.
Oh my god!
Well, we just did some planning through 2022, so we could squeeze
it in 24.
Oh my god! So it is running an hour, and I know you guys committed to an hour. But before you guys get going, is one thing that I do want to know. If you guys see right here, I have what this is, guys. This is an Awesome Fest logo pin. And Awesome Fest was supposed to be, I'll put it back up there. Awesome Fest was supposed to be right before COVID last year. And because of all the things that happened with COVID, it didn't happen. I was bummed out. I mean, I was so geared up, man. I had hotel booked. I was ready to go. So what does this coming year look like? Maybe in the fall, what are you guys looking at doing for cons? When's the next time we're going to be able to hang out with you guys and do that community thing you're talking about?
So we are. I think we're pretty set for Emerald City this year. If it's set for early December, and we've internally kind of committed to doing that. We're not 100% sure about the nature of the San Diego show before that. I mean, just to talk about our con schedule for whatever's left of this year. But I think in both instances, it's probably going to be something that's a little more reserved. Not, we're not going to have an event like Awesome Fest. I think it's just going to be us trying to get back into the con kind of mentality and working with the team to get, just to get us there. Like it's going to be, we've been virtual for a year now. The team has. So saying like, we're going to like coordinate and go to a con and get the booth set up and all of that is going to be such a big challenge that trying to do anything beyond that might be a little kind of tricky. I don't know if I'm answering your question, but
no, you are. I'm just excited to get back out there. It's been a rough year for you guys, for everybody. And like Awesome Fest, like I said, was something that I was so looking forward to Awesome Fest.
We just got one more question before we got to let these guys go. So Mills Fam Collectible again with a 5-spot. Thank you. Says, with unlock days being a thing, could you all add a day one adapter bonus in the future? I usually buy everything day one.
I think
I know him.
I think what he's
I wanna know that too.
talking about. I think what he's talking about is like if you unlock your pin on unlock day, you should get an unlock day bonus. And I like that idea a lot. A lot of the some of the complaints about the first, second, third unlock positions is that it's so weighted to those first 5 spots. Like they get so much of the points that after I think like 5th position, everyone else is kind of like so what? So by creating a story card for first day unlock, I think it kind of levels that out. And then if you add the stuff that I was talking about before with the unlock a room lobby kind of idea, I think it just makes unlock day a lot more fun and a lot more rewarding to people who are using the app.
Cool.
I like that idea a lot.
Kevin's tickled pink right now. He's all excited.
I
Like
can't wait to
bonus.
see you guys at a con. Like I said, I think all of us will probably be there.
You know what the funny thing was? I think you guys were in. Were you guys at New York Comic Con in 2019?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were.
That's why when I saw Amado popped up, Amado looked familiar because we passed each other in passing because I was there and I was over by the FigPin booth, and now seeing Amado, that name now I never forget a face. I never forget a face.
That was an awesome show for us. We absolutely loved New York Comic Con. I mean, for me, because I was in Jersey at the time, it was just I was like running back and forth every day driving.
Yeah, right across the bridge, and that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was like a great booth. We had a great lineup of pins. We had a lot of the team out there in New York at the time, and if we knew that in 3 months or 4 months the whole world would completely
the world almost ended,
we would have all stuck around another week or two in New York just to kind of enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
But that was a really fun show, and
yeah, those are always so fun because for us it's a chance to get out and meet people who are collecting. This room I'm in and this room Amado's in, this is like our whole world. Like every day, all day and all night, this is where we are constantly. So those are really nice because we get notes and emails and DMs about stuff, good and bad, and it's all great. But to be able to see people and, well, I guess shaking hands isn't as much of a thing anymore, but being around fans and collectors, it's just awesome.
It's just the personal interaction.
Yeah, people are so great and they're so nice all the time that for us it's a real highlight to be able to go out to those.
Well, when you guys put out a quality product and you guys care about the customer, that's why you guys get the feedback and the response that you guys get, and there's nothing greater than people coming up to you and telling you what a great quality product you have, the customer service, just everything in general. Again, good companies are hard to come by these days, and I'm actually really glad we did this interview because I learned a lot tonight, and like I said, tomorrow I'm going out and buying my first FigPin. So.
I can't wait to see the toy hunt. Amado said, they're fans of their fans, I guess.
Yeah.
It's very true. Like I know I could speak for Eric, and I know that I could speak for Dan. Like we love the fans of FigPin, and I don't want to say like our fans. They're not like, but we love interacting with them because it's so reciprocal. Like the love that we put into the product kind of comes right back to us with the love that they have for the product, and it's it's a kind of high that you get off of it, and you just want to go back to the drawing board and make more stuff. It's not even about money at that point. It's just you're bringing kind of happiness and joy to people, and that's just an amazing feeling.
Yeah, growing up as an artist, like all you ever want is somebody to see what you do and appreciate it, right? And whether you appreciate it just out of, just enjoying it when you see it or paying for it doesn't really matter. But to know people are out there enjoying it, it's extra gas every day.
Yes.
You know, when the times get tough and the lights are down and you're still working.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, guys. On behalf of MCE, myself, George, Seth, Ralph, Wreck-It Ralph. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, man.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, this was awesome.
Yes, you guys have been
Thank
great,
you.
and you're more than welcome to come back on anytime. And you know, obviously, we look to, you know, maybe one day running to you guys in at a con.
Oh,
You know,
most
when things
definitely.
kind of when things
Yeah.
kind of get back to normal, and you know, we can all shoot the shit there. So you know, that would be
will-
that would be fun.
You'll see us holding up the signs, like the you know, the line signs.
Lines right here. Yeah.
Yeah, line
I'll
answer,
just
'cause I love that.
Hey, I'll just volunteer to work, man. So.
You know, we enjoy that because like that's the one spot where you could just shoot the shit with the fans and not slow things. Well, I mean, we slow them down sometimes, but
yeah.
But we really do enjoy that. So we'll absolutely do that. And I'd love to come on again, talk about how some of the newer features of the app are coming along.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about NFTs because we had chatted about that before.
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
you know, just
oh well. Hey, look, if you guys got time, I can definitely. I didn't want to.
This is fun for us, man. So really, anytime.
Well, that one question I do know that was going to come up about NFTs, and it's such a new thing, and a lot of people probably don't even know what it is. But when I first heard of it, I like that's a thing for FigPin right there.
Yeah.
It sounds like something FigPin would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, like I don't have a hard cutoff, so I could go into this real quick. So, the neat thing about NFTs is that they're trying to control this issue of if you have something if you have a digital file and someone else has a digital file, right? As we know, back with MP3s, it's really easy to make copies of digital files. So NFT solves this really basic problem of, is my digital file mine and is yours yours? Like it kind of solidifies the proper ownership or the authenticity of two copies of the same thing. So one file has one serial number, the other file has another serial number, kind of. So it was something like Top Shots or what a lot of these other guys are doing is they're saying, here's some digital content, and now we're going to sell copies of it, and each copy is unique, right? What it's really not because it's digital, but we're adding a unique kind of tag onto it that makes it unique. And so when in the last month or two, when NFTs really became like
real big,
became like a buzzword, really big.
Yeah.
Like everybody's asking me, they're like, "Hey, Amado, NFTs, FigPin, you know, what are you guys going to do with NFTs?" And I'm like, "Well, nothing, because we're a physical product. Like we have a physical token, you know, we have a physical object with a unique serial number on it. So we're not NFTs not solving a problem for us, right? It's not really. We're not trying to sell digital copies of our product. That being said, I think it's putting our data set on a blockchain might be a really smart thing, because so much of the value now in the digital side of FigPin is in the data. You know, which serial numbers does this user have? What was the story that they had? What is their unlocked position? How many boosts? Who gave them the boosts? The battles? All of that stuff is this digital packet of information that should be preserved forever. Meaning, if we as FigPin one day, you know, cease to exist, you don't want all of that digital history of these pins to go away with it.
No, not at all.
So we are talking about about how we can get our data set on the blockchain and protect it in that way. But on the NFT side, you know, I haven't quite figured out what our angle would be on it. I don't think there is one, but I'm always open to kind of ideas and discussions. You know, we've had in Discord, we've talked a lot about this thing, but at the end of the day, you know, when you have a physical object, it's kind of it's apples and oranges.
But it's the data. I mean, I'm a data analyst, 8 to 5, or better said, 8 to 7. But that being the case, data is what sells, and crunching that, whether it's in software or visualizing that would be really impressive. That's just my regular 9 to 5 background. So I'm as soon as you said that, turn it on.
I mean, the fact that people are paying now, we have users that are paying now for boosts, I think says a lot about the value of the app experience right now.
Right.
That people are willing to pay, real world dollars
For a non-tangible thing.
or non-tangible things. Yeah.
It's not, you can't touch it, and they're giving you money for that.
And I think I think that's cool, because it might not be, it might come across as non-tangible, but the pleasure that you get from it,
Correct. It's
or
the
the
experience.
prestige or the experience,
Right.
it's like paying $4 to stream a video. That's non-tangible too, but
Correct.
I get 2 hours of fantastic entertainment out of it. So I think, I think digital does challenge a lot of this stuff, and we have to really think about the FigPin app in that way. Like, what is the physical side? We figure it out with the product, but what is this digital experience that we could kind of build as we move forward? Two quick digital things that I really like about where we're going with the story cards, and I might have talked about them in previous previous videos. One of them is we call it tags. So there's like voice tags, and then there's signature tags. I was telling the story before about a sports team that was going to have the talent like sign all the cards, right? So what we want to do is we want to say, if you buy a FigPin and you want that talent to sign your FigPin, it's not going to be like with a smelly Sharpie on the card, and then if your card tears, it's now ruined. And what we're going to do is we're going to allow them to interface with our system, not in person, like they could do it at home, and they'll sign your FigPin addressed to you. So it'll be like, hey, my name's Amado, and I have this character, and I'd love if you could sign it. So the talent would sign that digitally, and then that signature would be forever associated to your FigPin. Yeah.
Cool.
So now it becomes
it's
like
a digital,
signature.
it's a digital signature. Yeah, it's awesome.
Digital
That's
signature.
cool.
It's like a COA. It's a certificate of authenticity that it's actually been signed.
So
it's been.
Go ahead.
And the other side of that is with like voice actors. So if you have like a Goku and you go up to the voice actor that did it, he can now give you an audio tag onto your pin. So he could be like, hey, Amado, this is whatever. Good to meet you at Comic-Con. Have a great day. And so that audio clip is now permanently embedded in your serial number.
Right.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Oh my god! So if you get the Joker and you get Mark Hamill to do the voice of the Joker,
You're done.
With that too, I think one other thing about the pens is that you can release those pens for someone else to own them. Like they can become, and everything about that pen and its story, right? Am I correct? Travels with that pen.
Travels with it, yeah. It's very much like the like Carfax, where it'll tell you like the whole history of the car. It was
it's genius.
It was sold at this time and it had this many miles, and it was serviced here, and then it's about tracking the whole history of the pin, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You were talking about the Mandalorian the pins that had. So those earned a glitch bonus. It's called the glitch bonus. And, it cost us a lot of money just to build that, to like rerun the pins and build it. But we were like, no, this is part of the history now. It's part of its experience. So the tags is something, as we talk about digital, like what does digital mean? The tags is absolutely one of those things that exists only in digital space. But it's attached to a physical product. So that's
forever attached to that pen, that serial number.
Yeah,
that is cool.
Yeah. So it's the story, and this is the it's the analogy I always give. And if you have two like Civil War rifles, and one of them stayed in the factory museum from day one, but the other one was in this battle and in that battle, then it went to this general and it might be banged up and scratched up and used. Which one has more value? You know,
Right.
it's the one with the story. It's the one with the story that can be documented and kind of retold. And this is really what we're trying to do here, is to say, like, we know that every single FigPin was made at the same time in a factory. Like, we're not ashamed of that. You know, it's a beautiful product. But after it's made, each one of them is going to go off on this unique journey.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
That's cool.
I like that. It's a digital footprint.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm gonna go buy a FigPin now, and then I'm gonna register it on the app, do all my stuff, and then eventually I'll trade it, or I'll sell it, or I'll get rid of it or something, and then someone can track and be like, oh my god, I'm owning a FinPig that was owned by Seth. Oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's already validation to this idea that a digital marker adds more value to the pin.
Yes.
By way of the unlock position, by way of the sequence number of the score, by way of APs. You know, because APs are basically identical to regular pins, except they have a digital marker that says they are different, and that digital marker alone changes their market value
considerably.
Right? Considerably, yeah.
As they should be, because they were not sold in stores. There's only a special way to get it.
They have a different story altogether. There's a different journey.
So I just want you guys to take one more question, and then we don't want to hold you guys up anymore. I just thought this was a really good question. Eek Street Smith is saying, will there be space to trade with other collectors via the app?
So I'm going to give a long answer. One of the
he's like, damn it.
one of the earliest problems we ran into FigPin is when people would trade pins or sell pins. So someone would buy it, they put it in the app, and it belonged to them, and then they'd sell it to someone else in the secondary market, and then that new person would try to put it in the app, and the app would say, hey, this belongs to this guy. And so they'd send us a support ticket, and they'd be like, hey, I bought this pin, I have it now, this guy still has it, how do we fix this? So we would ask them to send us a picture front and back of the pin and their username, and then we would manually transfer the ownership, because we have this rule that we call like pin in hand. If it's in your hand,
it's yours.
It's yours. So obviously we couldn't do that as we scaled up. So we created this system called video verification, which maybe Calvin, you've run into.
I've had to do it several times.
Yeah. So when you go to unlock a pin that's been previously owned by someone else, you record a little video, like front and back of you put in the serial number and you record a little video front and back, and you submit it to the system. Now, Calvin, are you one of the verifiers?
I'm not one of the verifiers, no.
Okay, so what happens is that video clip goes to 9 anonymous users in the app, and they all have to agree that the pin is the pin the guy's saying, the serial number is the serial number the person is saying, and then the watermark on the video that we put on afterwards is the same watermark that the system is saying it is. If all 9 people agree, then that pin becomes yours, right?
Oh,
so,
awesome.
Yeah, so we call that it's a verification process. And then they all earn points. They all earn points that go towards their collector score, which then enables them to give more boosts and things like that.
You're giving Calvin all kinds of crazy ideas right now. Calvin's like, I got to figure out how to get into this now. More points.
Yeah. So what happens to answer the question about trading? We want to use the same system for trading. Meaning, I say I'm going to sell this pin, and then another person says, okay, well, I want to buy this pin, and so the seller will put it we'll do a video verification on it. And then that serial number will be parked in a kind of an escrow spot where they can't do anything with it. It gets locked in there until their transaction is done, and then the recipient gets the serial number into their account. What that does is it keeps both sides honest, meaning like they both have to complete the transaction, give it a thumbs up, and then the serial number transfers to them. And so we already have the foundational work for that done with the video verification, and we think that's going to allow in-app trading to become a very powerful thing, because it builds a lot of trust. That you're trading with someone who has their collection there, and you're trading with someone who's gone through this verification process to validate the authenticity of the pin.
That's awesome.
That was my long answer to.
That's great. That, I mean, listen, no answer is a long answer, because it's you explaining the process, which again, a lot of these companies don't really dive into their processes and what they do to help the customer. So, the fact that you guys are being so forthcoming about that is great. Yeah. So there is no long answer in my opinion.
I don't think there's any collectible company that produces a collectible that creates this experience. This is unique.
I'm a comic book guy, and I wish my comic book companies would do this. I really wish, so I can say the artist drew this person did that, and see the story of this comic that I bought. Who knows? Maybe Jack Kirby had it in his house, or Seth had it in his house, or whatever. Yeah. But that's really great.
Our whole system, our whole technology platform, we internally. We lost him.
Oh, we lost Ralph.
Go ahead. He can watch it later.
Wow, that was cold-blooded.
Yeah. So our whole back-end system it's a whole technology platform that we call Shelf. And so Shelf is really all right. You're back.
Back.
So what I was saying, our whole back-end system, our technology platform, we call it Shelf, and we're designing Shelf to do exactly what you're asking. To eventually, when we work out all the bugs and kinks and kind of really make it soar for FigPin, we want to make that platform available to all collectibles.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I really wish my comics had this. My slabbed comics. I mean, you guys are collectors, but if you had a slab comic that is now encased and protected and it's graded a 9.8, you kind of wish that. Or even that Galactus that's behind Calvin. Like, geez.
You have been talking about this Galactus. You won't stop.
Listen, if FigPin comes out with a Galactus as big as that and a pen size and a very small Silver Surfer to go with it, I will be more than happy to get it.
There's a really small one right there. You can see him. He's right there.
That's the new XXXL line.
The XXXL, the G line, the Galactus line.
Oh my God.
But thank you both for joining, and we really appreciate it. And again, anytime you guys are wanting to come back on, you're more than welcome anytime. You guys have been fantastic. Guys, I'm assuming you guys have social media accounts, right? So go check out FigPin on Instagram. You guys have a Facebook?
It's all FigPin official. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
All right, so guys, go follow them on social media to find out all the latest news, also the latest updates, upcoming releases, pre-orders, and all the cool stuff that FigPin offers. So
there you go.
So can I add one thing?
Sure.
I just want to give props to our whole team. We have, like I was saying earlier, we're a pretty small group that gets really a hell of a lot done for the size that we are in a couple of locations up in Washington, California, and even we have a small team in Hong Kong that works directly with the factories. And everybody is an all-star, and we feel really lucky to have such an amazing team helping us put out this, what we think is the best product we can make. So pretty awesome.
These are awesome.
Team FigPin. You need a guy. You guys have like a street team or anything like that? You need to make Calvin part of your street team.
Oh wow. Anyway,
maybe we will.
There you go. See, I'm opening doors for you, Calvin. Don't ever say that I don't try.
Yeah. Don't ever say he doesn't love you, Calvin.
I know he does. Thank you guys so much. You guys have
Thank you guys.
Erik Amado, thank you guys so much. Much appreciated. You guys have a good night. Be safe. And again, you guys are welcome back anytime you want to come back on.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll do it again.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
That was fun.
That was fun. Dude, those guys are amazing.
They were.
I honestly say that's up there with the geek shows that we've done and with interviews. Obviously, the Bowen interview being my favorite. This one's right up there, man. Those guys are killer, man.
I love the fact that he gave us so much information and that they're doing so much for their customers.
Yeah,
that is great.
And we got the leak of the Scooby Doo.
Scooby Doo. I thought it was going to be
leaked it first. Scooby Doo.
I thought it was going to be Snoopy, but yeah, Scooby Doo. We just need a Scrappy. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? You know what I'm interested in, and I guess that goes into the realm of the XL sizes that they were talking about. Mm-hmm. I would like to see vehicles. You know, like have them make like a Millennium Falcon. Have them Batmobile. Have them make Kit from Knight Rider.
Still live?
Yeah. You know, have that. The Batwing. The 18 vehicle. Iconic view. Oh, the DeLorean.
Yeah. The DeLorean. I even thought of like Luke on the land speeder, Luke on the speeder bike. I mean, like anything like that. You got the Tauntaun.
Yeah, this was so interesting that the hour went by so fast, man, and I was so excited to talk to those guys, and I'm really happy to see what they're going to do in the future. I think they've got a lot of ideas that they're sitting on.
I like when we bring people on that gets Calvin like extra giddy.
We need to go off live now.
Yeah. So also, guys, with that being said, if you guys watched this week's episode of the Collecting News, we had a small contest going for the funny Batman face caption for the Hot Toys. Let's pull up that face Let me pull up that face real fast so we can show everybody, and then I can announce the winner of the caption contest.
Scrappy would be a mini. The General Lee. Look at that.
Yeah. Somebody said General Lee?
Yeah, somebody put Zombie had put it. How about the General Lee?
Yeah, but no. Yeah, but no. This is what fly now. It just wouldn't go over now.
But we could do. Look, Star Fox's jet. We could do the F-Zero cars from Nintendo.
This is all from the chat, right? These guys are all coming up with all these ideas.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, there's so much that they could do.
Oh, that's the quarter.
But the whole trading thing, man, that was really awesome, though, to be able to trade that way.
I had no idea that they had that digital experience. I thought it was, buy a pin, see you later, bye. But no, I mean, the story keeps going, and then you trade it, and then you can unlock further features, which is really, really cool that they do that. Like you said, like a VIP experience.
Thor said Calvin will have a sign that says what he said. Calvin will have the sign that reads "We'll work for FigPin."
so here is the picture. So if you guys could see the funny Batman face where he's like, I don't know what happened, So I saw this when they announced this the other day, and I called George immediately, and I was like, dude, I can't stop laughing about how funny that they would put that portrait on there. So with that being said,
who won?
We have to announce the winner. Let me pull back up my screen so I can see you guys.
Because that guy looks like he has an enema.
So that man needs an enema.
That town needs an enema.
The winner of this that me and George actually went through and picked this up. I had it on my phone. Here we go. The winner of the caption states, "It takes a while for a fart to leave a rubber suit." And I thought that was the best. That was the best one, and that one was by our very own WTF It's Juan. So WTF It's Juan, or What the Fuck It's Juan. If you're watching, congratulations, you are the winner of the Marvel Legends Hand Ninja. Please reach out to either myself or George via Facebook or Instagram and provide us with your information, and we will get that shipped out to you.
That's very clever, Juan, because that's the same story my dad gave me when I was a kid. Never danced with a girl with a tight dress, because when she farts, it just comes up from right there.
Oh no!
That's what he would tell me. Never dance with a girl with a tight dress. It just comes up her boobs. I'm like,
That's funny. So yeah, congratulations, Juan. Again, just shoot either myself or George a message via Instagram or Facebook, and we will get that out to you. So again, it takes a while for a fart to leave a rubber suit, and I will pin that comment on that video so everybody knows who the winner is.
George was in the chat, wasn't he?
Yeah, George was in the chat at some point, but it's all good.
It's George. It's George.
All right, guys, it's been an hour and 40 minutes. It's time to wrap things up. Ralph, what do you got on the docket? You got anything going on?
I got to take some stuff to storage. Hopefully this week I have a better week. I'm very, very, very close to my Rogue, to put in my complete payment. So I'm almost there.
Shucky ducky.
Now, I really would like
with your Rogue.
I do got to get a fake pin for my Rogue.
Yeah.
But I wish I could get the curly hair Rogue, the sideshow exclusive, but she's gone.
I think the fake pin had curly hair.
The only one that's there now. Somebody's telling me wait for the XM, but XM prices are a lot more, and I don't want to. I don't want to wait. Now, if I could, what I would wait for is that 1/3 Magneto, but that's just beyond me.
Yeah, that's a good piece.
Yeah,
my man, Sexual Chocolate. Everybody, what you got going on, man?
I have, believe it or not, some FigPin videos to do.
I believe
I
it.
do. I actually do. I have. We've got Stranger Things FigPin set to work to do. Got Nightmare Before Christmas FigPin set.
Oh, your favorite. Your favorite.
Yeah, my favorite. Yeah. So I'm working on some FigPin videos.
Awesome.
And some other stuff too. I've got quite a few 3D busts in now.
Ooh.
So yeah.
I did get the Wolverine. I did get the Wolverine.
I got that one. I did get that one.
Yeah.
I got that one.
So,
and Beskar armor from Mandalorian.
All right. So as far as we go on the channel, George is having a reaction video drop tomorrow morning. On the Movie Nights channel that we started, so be sure to go check that out. If you guys didn't get a chance to check out my toy hunt that I dropped this morning, go check that out. And then we'll be back with another week of cavalcade of videos for you guys to enjoy. Also, be sure not to check out our back catalog of videos that we got going on. And also, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Marvelous Nights YouTube group. Again, for $1.99 a month, you get all kinds of cool stuff. You get private member live streams, private member giveaways. You get first access to the videos, and you get private cool badges and emojis to use. You get private dances. I'll be your private dancer.
Okay, let's go.
With the poll.
Guys,
get a poll?
We're out. Love you.
So, as always,
I got my FigPin water bottle, huh?
So, guys, as always, I left the links in the description below. Go check out Ralph's Instagram at No More Mutants. Also, be sure to go check out my man Calvin, the Statue Fanatic, on his channel and go show him some love. And me, I can give a fat rat's ass less. So, guys, have a good evening. Thank you for being part of MC, as always. Thank you to our friends Amado and Eric over at FigPin. And, guys,
masked vehicles.
Keep it marvelous.
Keep it marvelous. Collect awesome, guys.